What's good, YouTube? Cardfight King here, AQUA Life Baby. You already know. Today, guys, I'm bringing you guys that long overdue update to my Thavas Aqua Force Stride deck. Made to bring you guys this deck. Last month when we were knee deep into the set 5 format, but things happened. Just, didn't get out to you guys. But I wanted to bring you guys a discussion on the new G Guardians and expansion of the G Zone. But I'm pretty sure you guys are all caught up on that information already. And I didn't want to delay this deck profile update any longer than I have been. And I'm also going to explain to you guys, as always, changes I might be considering making to the deck after the deck profile, during the profile and everything. Now, but I'll probably save my reaction to the G Guardians and stuff, at the end of the video and probably in another video because I'm very excited about it. Now, as I said in the last video, guys, there might be some conflicting choices in the deck. Yes, I know Shadow Paladins are on the rise again. Some of you are going to be like, well, Shadow Paladin, everyone's pulling the Shadow Paladins from, cold storage and everyone's playing, Diablos and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I know, but I don't give a damn about a Black Dragon and Shadow Paladins. I really don't give a damn about that. I'm more worried about clans like Link Jokers and whatnot, whose mechanic counters our mechanic as Aquaforce players. Their mechanic prevents us from executing multiple battles and preventing cards like Lambros from going off. And I'm more worried about us having a stronger defense against those mechanics than a damn, Black Dragon and Knights, who are masochists and stuff, who just, sacrifice their friends and gain advantage and do that stuff. We can splish splash all over them, but against those other clans, we have a harder time splish splashing on them because they prevent us from doing what we need to do because they kind of, get rid of our stuff and stun and lock and shut down what we need to do. But against them, we can game plan for them. We can game plan for that, that big Black Dragon, okay? But against them, it's a bit more of a struggle. We can splish splash on the Black Dragons. Against them, we need to have a better defense. And that's the reason why I have some of the choices in this deck that I have. So without further ado, let's get started. I mean, you guys got to realize Link Jokers are our worst matchups, and they are our worst matchups. We gotta be prepared for them. But Kelpie Ryder Mitros, he's still the starter that I chose to run. Andre is still a very good starter, guys, and if that's your preferred choice, then go with Andre. I just like Mitros. It does suck if you have one of those bad games where you draw into, you damage check, you just see all 4 copies of Thavas out of your deck at the start of the game, really, before you get to Stride. That is just extremely unfortunate and very unlucky, but it doesn't really happen that often, at least to me. So Mitros is still very good. Creating that 4th battle, but when you're a Vanguard with Thavas, Grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Thavas attacks on wave 3 or more, you get to throw him into the Soul, Superior Call Thavas, and at the end of the turn, bounce the Thavas back to your hand. Like I said, he's my bread and butter starter. He's my bread and butter first Stride turn combo maker. You can just put an Adelaide, spoiler, Adelaide, Magnum Title, anything that can, multiple attacks here, even put put the Thavas crit trigger here, maybe a Stacia, whatever. Get to 3 battles, throw him in the Soul. He creates a 4th battle and then gives you Stride fodder or ride next turn. Very good. Or rearguard next turn, whatever. He's very, very good starter. 4 heal triggers, just obligatory heal triggers. I'm so mad that the Blue Storm heal trigger is the heal trigger that we're going to be getting as the double rare. For Malika, gotta have her clutch draw trigger. 4 copies of Supersonic Sailor. Very good. I went back to 8. I told you guys my main lineup for this deck is 8 crit 4 draw, obviously, and Petros. There's a lot of things you can do with Petros, especially if you're low on rear guards. You just seeing all your triggers and whatnot. Go ahead, toss her out, build your soul up, make Thavas big, draw into your pieces, just so you can see your pieces. If you're in that type of situation. But Supersonic Sailor very good for unflipping damage and, letting you do more combos if you're, counterblasting pretty heavily or your opponent's not giving you counterblast, so you can use Magnum or Adelaide or Thea and things like that. Supersonic Sailor, again, just there, throw them into the soul, build some soul, unflip damage, and make your opponent pay for not trying to give you counterblast, things like that. All right, on to grade 1. All right, guys, now for grade 1, I'm running 4 copies of the unflipping perfect guard Plato. I like Plato. For regionals, I may switch up to Pascal or the non G perfect guards. But right now, I really like the G perfect guards for how the deck is. It might be a little bit more counter blast heavy now. And just right now, I really just value the unflipping. If I have a chance to unflip to create and extend more combos, I'd rather have that opportunity. Plus, it makes him a better ride target overall. Especially in Blue Wave, just makes him a better ride target, especially if I'm soul blasting. So 4 copies of Stride Enabler. Nikki, it's a Stride deck. Thavas is the backbone of this deck. Obviously, Skiros is the better ride in some matchups, in some situations. But I will cover that more when I get to the grade 3s. But yes, Nikki, you got to have him. And then 2 copies of Stacia. As you guys know, I love me some Stacia. Stacia is so good. To me, I consider her a 4th battle enabler. She's a free 9k from the back row at GB1 because she gains 3k when she attacks. She can attack anything in the front row. Literally, you attack a rear guard front row. You can poke in a 9k, so you can either kill a 9k, force a card out their hand. Just a very, very good card overall. Just love her. You pump her up by 3k. You combo her with max or anything. I mean, she just makes a lot of really clutch plays in the deck. And I am considering bumping her up to 3 copies again in this deck, but we will see. I'm running 1 copy of Orthea. I did reduce Orthea to 1 copy in this deck, so I have not taken her out completely. I don't think I can take her out completely. She's just really, really good. But I just reduced her to 1 copy completely. I realized that, I thought she was my answer to Chaos Breaker. You guys know that I am a dedicated Link Joker player. Link Joker is my second, clan. That's my, second hand clan. Obviously, I'm all about that AQUA Life, but I'm also a dedicated Link Joker player. I play our worst matchup. Let's just say that. And I thought she was the answer to Chaos Breaker when I did some serious play testing against Chaos Breaker and whatnot. She's just a booster. If things get locked in front of her, she can get big crunched. And if something's locked in front of her, she's not doing anything. She wasn't extremely versatile as I had, originally thought. I don't know why I didn't, wasn't thinking that way when I did put her in, even though she's still a very good card. But what I did was I took her down to 1 and I put in 2 copies of Meliana. The reason why I put in 2 copies of Meliana is because I was playing around with her because I wanted to add some offensive versatility to my grade 1 lineup. I wanted to add some more offensive presence and more versatility to my grade 1 lineup. And what Meliana does is that if you have a grade 3 or greater Thavas Vanguard, when she attacks on wave 3 or more, she gains, you can counterblast 1, she'll gain 5,000 power, and you get to draw a card. She's a 7k booster that also has resist. So, like I said, I wanted to add some versatility to this lineup. So she's a 7k booster that has resist. So you like Orthea, she's going to sit there and boost. Now, she doesn't have Orthea's ability where she creates a tidal assault from the back row for a counterblast and a soul blast. That's perfectly fine. But she's a nice, serviceable 7k booster that has resist. So she's not getting touched. She's not getting pinpoint touched. But she's also serviceable in the front row too, which is what I wanted to have against like Chaos Breaker and things like that. Obviously, it's not the end all be all because they can still like universe cards to the back row. If I I usually like to keep things that aren't lockable, then that can get big crunched and whatnot. But things can still get universed and unlocked and big crunched, and unless it's a resist unit and whatnot. But something serviceable in the front row that I can use to attack with that can still hit good numbers, especially on the Lambros restand play. I can attack for 12, counterblast 1, draw a card, restand with Lambros, attack for 22, obviously without triggers, counterblast 1, draw an additional card. She'll net me 2 cards on the Lambros restand play, and she'll attack twice for a nice poke attack and then a nice 15k shield. Very good. She's just been very good, very versatile. I'm able to move her up and down, up and down, up and down the column, whether I need her as a booster to boost Magnum title, whoever it is, or as an attacker. And you know, her and Orthea in the same column is pretty much an untouchable column. And you know, her being in the front row, you know, against Link Jokers and whatnot, pretty much forces, especially against like decks like Messiahs, because you guys know I play Messiahs too. Decks against like Messiah, it forces them to actually attack this card, which will give me the opportunity to throw out shield and have a chance to actually protect this card and protect my front row so that I can still maintain some offensive presence. So that's pretty much my thinking with behind putting in Meliana, and she's worked out very, very, very well. Again, like I said, yes, you know, this might, you might think, oh well, you have 3 resist units and you know, and that you want to establish on the board against Shadow Paladins. Sure I do. Like, hell yes I do, because they're good. And guess what? They're gonna splish splash all over the masochist. But you know, again, you have to game plan for them. Sometimes you can hold it back. We still have this. We still have this. We can game plan for it. We can set up our board in a different way against Shadow Paladins. You know, you just, again, that all comes into skill and how you recognize your matchups, and you know what you're getting to the board. But again, I wanted her for versatility, not only in our worst matchups, but to add some offensive presence in our other matchups as well. So yeah. All right, on to grade 2. All right, grade 2. You already know who my favorite grade 2 is. Let's get them out the way. My boy Title Assault. Oh, we were there because we were coming back home from locals. Yeah, last night talking about if Title Assault gets hit with that restriction list, because I know he's on the watch list, Bushiroad's watch list. Title Assault gets hit on that restriction list. I'm gonna sit in the corner and I'm gonna contemplate my life as an Aqua Force player. I'm gonna be like, what am I gonna do without Title Assault? Damn. But nah, man, Title Assault's been my boy since he came out. I think I have like 4 or 5 play sets of him. He's just, I run him in every Aqua Force deck I can put him in. He is just that good of a card, guys. I can't see why people don't like him. There's nothing not to like about him. Oh, him losing 4K power or 5K power. Okay, he lost 5K power. So what? 4K swing? He still gets you. He still is 2 battles within himself. He gets you to a 3rd battle. He'll help you get to the 4th battle. You know, you can attack a rearguard with him, and if you restand him, he still has 2 attacks to the Vanguard. I mean, he is my favorite rearguard. You know, so yeah, he is my favorite rearguard in Aqua Force. Probably my favorite card. I just can't not run him. So he's a staple. Another staple in this deck from right now for me is Magnum Assault. There may be a time when I might cut him down to 3, but right now 4 Magnum Assault, 2 clutch. There's so many ways you can boost him. Again, cards like Meliana, who's a resistant and stays on the board, consistent booster for Magnum Assault. A lot of people like to pick Magnum Assault off the board. As long as she's on the board, again, she's a very versatile card, great booster for Magnum Assault. Orthea and Magnum Assault don't really make a good combination together, but, again, it's a resist, it's a booster that stays on the board. Magnum Assault likes those type of things. And the crit trigger is also a pretty decent booster for him, too. 2 cards of Saberflow Sailor. Guys, I can't tell you how much I love Saberflow Sailor. Every time I think about taking her out of the deck, she does something to stay in the deck. I even put her in another Aqua Force deck, who I will show you guys in the next video. And she saves me. Every time I think about taking her out, she does something to keep herself in. You know, she's like one of the best cards that I don't know why I didn't recognize, before. Even though I do like cards like Couple Dagger Sailor and things I really like Couple Dagger Sailor too, and things like that. But the value that she brings late game, early game, even mid game when you can get her off is just extremely valuable. Especially with, strides and stuff, and even when we're getting into G Guardians and things like that. I mean, just her ability to get to, on the 4th battle, at the end of the 4th battle or more, when she attacked an opponent's Vanguard, retire and draw 2 cards, replenishing your hand for 2 cards. There was one point I had I triple drived, triple grade 3. Attack with her. And I drew into a crit trigger and a perfect guard. But that perfect guard, I was able to drop a grade 3 for the perfect guard, and that extra crit trigger was the 10k shield I needed in order to help survive into the next turn. In addition to that perfect guard, things like that. I mean, every time I think about taking her out the deck, she does something to stay in the deck, and so for right now, again, she's earned her place. And 2 copies of Battle Siren Adelaide. Now, you can take her out if you want to run cards like Couple Dagger and High Tie Sniper. Again, to me, these 4 cards here, even a copy of Magnum Assault, if you want, it's very versatile. The one thing I really love about Aquaforce, and even looking at other people's Aquaforce decks, is that the grade 2 lineup, outside of obviously Tidal Assault, you got to play 4 Tidal Assault. Please play 4 Tidal Assault. Sorry, I had to do that. Is that there's really a lot of things that you can do with your grade 2 lineup, and it's very versatile. But it's not something where you can just throw anything in. You have to throw it in, and then you have to build the deck around it, build your play style around it, and build your plays around it, to work on your plays to fit that card as well. And talking about board positioning, position it on the board well, set up well, things like that. You just can't throw things in. But it is interesting to see other people's builds. If they're not running Saber Flow, what are you running? If you're not running Adelaide, what are you running? If you're taking out a copy of Magnum Assault, what are you running? If you're not playing 4 Tidal Assaults, I'm turning off the video. Things like that. But yeah, so 4 Adelaides. Or 2 Adelaides. Very good card. I revisited her because, again, in the Link Joker matchup, her and Commander Thavas worked very well together. I can call her to the back row if my front row is locked. Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1. If you have a Thavas grade 3 or greater Vanguard, she gains 2,000 power and the ability that after she attacks the opponent's Vanguard, she can restand herself. Very good on the Lambros play too. You can swing 11k to rear guard and then restand her with Lambros, and then swing twice for 21k at the opponent's Vanguard. 2 15k shields at the opponent's Vanguard too. You can use her early game, call her out in front of Mitros, get 11k here, restand, 16k boost, Mitros into Soul, call Thavas, triple drive, and Thavas and do that things. She definitely does present it. Then after the turn, after the turn, you can use her as a 5k intercept, or just keep her there as a 9k attacker. Sometimes people are like, is she going to do anything? No, she's just a 9k vanilla. Her usefulness is over. So they really won't spend time attacking. That means that you now have the option of using her as an intercept or keeping her there as a serviceable attacker. So, then it leaves the option up to you, depending on how valuable your opponent sees your rear guards. So, yeah. She's been very good. I wanted to play her at more copies, but I just like her at 2. It depends on really when you call her out. But I like her. Again, this lineup is very versatile, very interchangeable, and you can do what you need to do with it. All right, on to grade 3. All right, guys, for grade 3, obviously 4 copies of Skiros. When you ride him, you get to give the rear guard the ability that when it attacks an opponent's Vanguard on the 3rd battle of the turn or more, you get to search the top 5 for grade 3 and add it to your hands. So he gets to give a rear guard the ability to search for grade 3. And at GB1, he gives your entire front row rear guards the resist ability. So he makes your front row rear guards untouchable by pinpoint attacks. Very, very good. Very good backup Vanguard to ride against, Link Jokers, Mekani, Gear Crunk and stuff. So your opponent can't touch our stuff. And again, why I don't run more copies of Adelaide and whatnot is because he's not a Thavas Vanguard, so we can just ride in the Lambros and Tidal Assault. He's gonna have to burn a lane attack at Tidal Assault or a Vanguard attack at Tidal Magnum, things like that. So that's why Skiros is still is a very good, like the best back. We have very good defensive backup for Aquaforce. Very good. I was considering teching in 1 copy of Max again, just to have some nice rear guard, and you know, get my combo going with Max and Stacia again. You know, for swinging with Max, moving Stacia over, and then having Stacia gain 2k, so she'll swing for 11. But right now I'm doing that. I'll test out a copy of Max, you know, probably after this deck profile. But so far, going 4 copies of Skiros, and then obviously 4 copies of Thavas. Very good. You know, he's the backbone of the deck. When your unit attacks on the 4th battle of the turn, which is his stride break ability, when your unit, I don't know why you can't play this card on Cardfight area with somebody, and everyone just, you know, bitches and moans about, oh, you can't use this card, and I don't care. He's been out, I think, for over a year, or about a year now. Okay, I just can't play Thavas on Cardfight area because everybody complains that you can't use skill. It's when a unit attacks on the 4th battle of the turn only at the opponent's Vanguard. You select 3 of their rear guards, they choose 1 of them and retires it. If there are not enough legal targets, you select as many as you can. You do as much as you can. That is a rule that Bushiroad has in place. You do as much as you can, and your opponent selects 1 of them and retires it. If they only have 1 rear guard and it's a starter that does not have resist, it gets retired. Okay. Please, if you play on Cardfight area, remember this ruling, so that when people try to play test Thavas on Cardfight area and they attack with their Tidal Assault, who's swinging for negative 554 at your Vanguard on the 4th battle of the turn, and is not going to hit whatsoever, they still get the retire skill. Okay? Okay. And then his GB2 ability is, you know, when he attacks on the 4th battle of the turn, he gets an extra crit. And your opponent cannot guard with grade 0 cards from their hand. So, yeah. Very good card. Backbone. All right, and on to the stride deck. Sorry for your ears there. I just got a little animated. 1 copy of Aristotle. Very good card. My first stride, if my opponent has a board fill up and they're really protecting the rear guards, like Black Steve likes to protect his run bowl, and I don't like that card at all. Young Metro does not trust that card. I need to get rid of that card. I usually go into him just to guarantee myself getting rid of that card. 1 copy, because on third battle more, when he attacks, you carry +1 destroy card on your opponent's board. Tidal Bore. Tidal Bore is just a good card. You know, if he hits on 3rd battle or more, you can draw a card, then choose up to 1 card from your hand and call it out. Good card just to draw and possibly gains a little bit of advantage. If your opponent has a really small board, like if you stride first and they only have 1 card in the field, and you're able to get to 4 battles, if you're able to guarantee yourself 4 battles at all, or you know he's going to hit, you can get Thavas' ability off. Or he's just there just for some good draw power, some extra things. 2 copies of Commander Thavas. Very, very good card. You can use him as a first strike card. You can actually beat somebody on him as a first strike card, especially depending on where you've pressured them to. Very good mid-game strike card. You just ride him, you persona flip, and give a unit 5k and the ability to attack from the back row. And then his GB3 skill is literally Thavas' stride break skill. When your unit attacks on the 4th battle of the turn, wave 4, at the opponent's Vanguard, choose three of their rear guards, they choose 1 and retires it. Again, do as much as you can. I got animated about that a little while ago, so you already know. And then 4 copies of Lambie Bambi, probably my favorite stride unit. He's the game ender. He is our beast. Remember what I always tell you guys: feed your beast. Feed him. Yeah, just very good stride. Just a very good stride card. Possibly one of the best stride cards in the game. Probably the best stride card in the game to me. When he attacks in the 4th battle of the turn, choose 2 of your 4th battle of the turn or more. Choose 2 of your rear guards, restand them, and they gain 10,000 power. If you have another unit face cells, pretty much your GB2 stride. Amazing. And you can use him as a first turn stride too if you want. If you guys saw my DMV Dynasty Cup video, I won when I was playing Nova Grapplers. I used him as my first stride, and I stood 2 of my units. They didn't gain 10,000 power, but you can still stand them. So yeah. But that's the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it's another long deck profile, but but as you guys know, I always pack my deck profiles with information, and you know, it's because my deck profiles are more like I'm just trying to teach you guys, and so we can all learn together. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Look forward to a Blue Wave deck profile coming up next. All right, Cardfight Kingdom out. Peace.